Hey there, Ascension Pioneers! In my last video, I was speaking about surrendering, releasing the past, and that is connected directly, as I was saying, with forgiveness. When we forgive, we're actually learning through the experience. We're not just remaining stuck and not moving anywhere. And that is why today, because I forgot to add something in my previous video and it was long enough already, I want to speak about shortly opening the heart center, opening the heart chakra. For me, it's very funny because so many people talk about this and they speak about this in a way of us opening our heart center to certain methods like healing modalities and certain chakric exercises and so on, which is all fine. But that is more to rebalance ourselves. That is more to balance ourselves, to try to remain in that, like I say, a vortex zone in your personal I am vortex space. You can also do your own personal vortex meditation by your own feeling, how you're guided to do it on your own. For me, when I go out in nature and I meditate when I feel the urge to meditate. I just sit and I say, I just feel guided to meditate. I just sit. I just feel my presence. I just feel like there's this light coming through me, and then I inhale it and exhale it. And just yesterday when I was, when I was finished with my run and I sat by the lake, and I literally imagined how I was inhaling pink light and then I was exhaling it like in a pink bubble, and it was expanding and expanding, as my heart chakra was opening. The entire energy field around me was opening and was able to capture, like embrace many others as well. And I was speaking about how healing energies work in my previous video, so do check that out. But I want to speak about something different right now. It's not just about meditation. It's not just about focusing on your own zone, in your own vibe. It's more about what truly opens our heart chakra. And there's something that I say to everyone who I have the ability and the opportunity to say that too. I always say the same thing. And how do you open your chakra, your heart chakra, which is basically the connector point between your lower and higher chakric system, which is just then opening to another multidimensionality system of your chakras that exist in other realms that you don't imagine here. But it is a very important part, and we're growing and learning through experience. And we are anchoring it here, and we're moving through these experiences with our hearts. We're literally opening our hearts, and it's not enough to just meditate, to just sit there and meditate, or, people say inhale flower fragrances, or look at the color pink, or wear pink, or think pink, or things like that. That's just one part that will, literally, it will be easier for you to open up. But you have to walk through that. You have to walk through an experience. For instance, how do you open your heart chakra center the most? I'll give you an example. If you remain stuck in the old and you experience a certain situation, I'll give an example with a particular individual, and you will remain in that zone of fear. For instance, I'll give a very concrete example. You will draw yourself away from that person. You will create a certain drama, and you will remain in that zone where you feel like a victim. And you will actually self-victimize yourself. There is no other way. And you'll have a certain ego voice saying to you, no, but I won't do that, or I won't apologize, or I won't speak to that person, or I really won't make the first step. For instance, if you have a partner and you're mad at them for something, and you create this attachment in a way of making an assumption as to what they do or what they say is about, instead of just asking and then letting the free flow to work through you both, what you do is you create this barrier around you. So what opens your heart chakra center the most is when you literally do something that you feel the most resistant to do. If your mind, which is, the lower self, tells you, don't do that, they hurt you, or don't do that because, they didn't come after you when you really walked away from something, when you felt you're the bigger person in a certain situation, or that you deserved to be treated in a certain way and they don't treat you that way, and then you make a drama, you make a scene. I think all of you know what I'm talking about, because we all, when we have that inner wounded child resurface, we all act a certain way that is not coming from our higher self. So that is all fine. That is not to be judged. That is to be forgiven. And what we do is we open our heart center the most when we do something that our ego voice tells us not to do. Don't go to that person. They have to make the first step. Don't connect. They have to see me. They have to see that I'm right and they have to come after me. I won't speak to that person. They hurt me. Do exactly that. Do the opposite. Do the opposite because that is your love. It is the fearless state which has no attachment in a way of making assumptions. Who is right, who's better, who's higher, who's more evolved, who should be treating someone a certain way. There is no such thing. It's our perception that does that. When you truly are, how you will know you're coming from a place of love, from a place of your equalized, balanced, divine heart, when there is only union. You won't have that, even though you'll have that mind voice, like literally barking at you, you won't listen to it. You will really face it through love. For me, when I experience certain situations like that, I'm always a conscious observer. It's always like I'm sitting there on my shoulder. It's like I'm, observing myself. Have you ever seen those movies when there's like little devil and little angel and they're both fighting for the person's attention, like who will prevail? Where it's not so much about that, but it is kind of like a metaphor of your lower and higher self. And your soul is kind of in the middle of that. And it's a neutral place where you're supposed to come from when you're really coming from that place of your divine self. It's okay to have that human self. We all have a human self, but even that human self can be balanced and can be loving, can be caring, can be neutral. It doesn't have to be all about the wounded inner child because the wounds are there to be healed. Like I say, to be made whole again as they truly are. There is no wounds. It's our perception of it that creates them, that they still have the place to serve or, exist. So when you feel really resistant and reluctant to do something like that, you're not coming from a place of a truly open heart. For instance, you might love someone so much, but when they do something you don't like, you literally at that moment, you see them as a different person. You don't feel the love. You don't feel the vibe. They need to do something. They need to either apologize or treat you a certain way or say something that will make you shift again. But there is no such thing as an external shift. You have to remember that. The shift, when it's true, when it's authentic, it comes from deep inside of you. And it comes, the most transcendence is in a state when you feel that resistance, but no matter what, you go forward. You push through it. You don't remain in that old zone, in that victim consciousness that you created by yourself, for yourself, in order to experience something, in order to re-feel that feeling that needs to be felt in order to be healed and made whole again. But there's a certain limit that exists when you can just say to yourself, enough is enough. I've acted a certain old way. I've kept repeating and it doesn't work. When you see it doesn't work, it literally, the divine is showing you where you are just supposed to open up and let the divine flows, to start flowing. Open the pipe with the water. Let the water run. We need water, right, to survive. So it's best for you and for others, because we're all one and we're serving each other, is to really open your heart center through doing something that feels the most out of your comfort zone, the most awkward or the most unexpected from you, as to how you kept reacting in the old, or how you used to react every single time when there's a certain situation presenting to yourself. And just go back and think how many times you have reacted a certain old way already, and how many times you have not changed anything. And now is the time to change that. And remember, just one tiny act of that experience that flows through you in that certain particular moment is enough. Because when you do it once, it will be like you've always done it before, because it's something that is natural to you. You are love. You are love vibration. So when you do that, you will remember yourself as love, and you will see that all those old reactions and old wounds, they've served their purpose, and they can say goodbye, and you can say goodbye, and it's time to say goodbye. So to add that meditation is not wrong, nothing is bad, flower fragrances are great. I love to smell roses as well in nature. I like inhale them so deeply because I feel literally they open me up, but that's just opening up. Then you have to step up as well and be yourself and be that love that you are. So that is what I wanted to talk about today. And I also want to add to today, when I watched Doreen's video, Doreen Virtue's video for this week. I've watched it at the end of the week, but it came at the divine timing for me. At the end, she mentioned that she was giving guidance that all the people who work in service, like she calls them light workers. I don't like the term so much. I say being of service. And all of us, she said, will have a bit of more holiday time, more time to rest from the middle of August and the whole of September, and we'll be going back to work more from October on till December, which is something I truly resonate with, because I feel my heart space just craves for this self time and to go in nature, to go camping, to change the environment. Because I've been in my holiday mode, but not in a way that I used to do it, and in a way that you truly really have yourself that holiday. So that is what I wanted to add. So if you feel guided as being of light who is of service, and if you're guided to really just go, just leave and enjoy that time just for you and your loved ones, and you feel the right inner guidance. And I'm glad to share always. And I'll talk to you very much soon. If not so soon, know that I'm enjoying my holiday, and I will be with you shortly right after that. Enjoy your holiday. Much love. Bye.